Welcome to your grade 8 health class. I am your teacher, Joanah Marie, and how are you today? I know you are very much excited to know our lesson for today. At the end of our lesson, the students should be able to define the disease preventions and control, analyzes the nature of emerging and re-emerging diseases, explain the importance of preventive measures to avoid sickness. Okay, before we start, I have few questions. Are you feeling well? What are the things you do to avoid sickness? Very good. Today, let's talk about the disease prevention and control. Imagine these four corners of our room as a bus. You are all will be my passenger and I will be your driver. Now, let's ride on the bus and fasten your seatbelts as we learn the disease preventions and control. Can you give me one example of infectious disease that you know here in the Philippines? Very good. Now, let's learn the emerging and re-emerging diseases. What is an emerging diseases? An emerging diseases is a newly identified or previously unknown infections. What is re-emerging diseases? Re-emerging diseases is secondary to the reappearance of a previously eliminated infections of an unexpected increase in the number of the previously known infection disease. This includes malaria, tuberculosis, cholera, pertussis, influenza, gonorrhea, and pneumococcal diseases. Today, we will have an activity. I will group you into two groups. Each groups should get their topics to me and someone in the group should present their work in the class. Choose your leader. Now, there are two kinds of transmission: indirect and indirect transmission. Direct. Indirect, we have three modes of transmission. The first one is contact transmission. In contact transmission, we have kissing, handshakes with someone sick, sleeping with someone with lice. The example diseases are hand, foot, and mouth diseases, acute conjunctivitis, scabies, head lice infestation, and chickenpox. And the preventive measures are: first, adopt a proper isolation for the sick, avoid human contact, keep both hands clean, and perform hand hygiene properly. Clean and properly disinfect the items used by patients and do not shake hands or share towels and other personal items. And the second mode of transmission is foodborne, waterborne transmission. And the example diseases are viral gastroenteritis, cholera, bacillary dysentery, and hepatitis A and hepatitis B. The preventive measures are: first, ensure all foods are adequately cooked, especially with high-risk food like seashells. Perform hand hygiene before and after meals and after toilet. And the third mode of transmission is vector-borne transmission, usually insects. And under vector-borne transmission is mosquito bites or insect bites. The example diseases are dengue fever, malaria, Japanese encephalitis. And the preventive measures are: first, maintain environmental hygiene to prevent breeding of mosquitoes, insects in stagnant water. Second, take personal protection to prevent insect and mosquito bites. Second one is indirect. In indirect, we have two modes of transmission. The first one is droplet transmission. And under droplet transmission, we have coughing and sneezing. And the example diseases are influenza, common cold, streptococcus, and pneumonia infection. Now, the preventive measures are: first, maintain good indoor ventilation. Second, keep both hands clean. In particular, perform hand hygiene properly and immediately after making contact with sick person having respiratory secretions. Next, cover mouth and nose when sneezing. Use tissue paper to contain respiratory secretions and dispose it in garbage bins with leaves. People with respiratory infection symptoms and their close contacts, like hospital aides, should wear surgical masks. Keep a distance at least 1 meter from the sick person. Seek medical advice immediately if unwell. Adopt proper isolation for the sick. Use appropriate personal protective equipment when necessary. Second is airborne transmission. The example diseases are pulmonary tuberculosis, measles, and chickenpox. And the preventive measures are: first, maintain good indoor ventilation. Second, seek medical advice immediately if unwell. And the last one is anyone with symptoms suggestive of airborne transmissible diseases should avoid crowded places and must stay at home. Very good. Why is it important for us to practice proper preventive measures to diseases? Great job! Now, let's have an activity. Let me first group you into two groups and choose your leaders. And the mechanics of our activity is: be with your group mates and prepare for this activity. You need to answer these questions and present your answers within 5 minutes. Now, what are the two kinds of transmission? Second, what are the different modes of transmission? Third, what are some examples of communicable diseases? And the last one, what are their preventive